Hi everybody, how are you? I'm Wes Anderson, Community Relations Director here at Southern Hancock. We're in the Anderson Family Truckster here talking about our junior high car line today. We've heard a lot of feedback from a lot of you about some ideas and suggestions. So we want to talk about our car line today and talk about just a few reminders, a few do's and don'ts, and hopefully that'll make our car line procedure at the junior high go a lot smoother this year. So we're going to pull out, we're going to head to the junior high and get started. Okay, have Principal Jim Voelz in the car with us in the back seat, and Assistant
Hello.
Principal Craig Moore.
Hello, happy to be with you.
As we get rolling here, guys, we're on the main entrance side of the junior high right now. We're going to turn, we're going to drive around and kind of drive this car line. And as we do that, talk a little bit about where we've been this first year of implementing this new policy at this new building and where we think we can go from here.
Okay, well, last year we, was kind of figuring things out, just the whole process and what would make things run smoothly and safely, most of all. And through some trial and error, we came up with a process that we feel worked really well as long as the process is followed. So when it was implemented, it took some teaching and reteaching, and finally the process was being followed. And then as the year went on, things kind of fell by the wayside in terms of following the process and the procedures that we had laid out. So kind of the goal today is to teach that again. Obviously we're going to have some new parents and new students coming into the building, so we want to introduce this early and kind of get things going off on the right foot here as we start the school year.
So one of our main goals is to get students in school on time, ready to learn. We have found with the process, especially after the first couple of days, and it settles down a little bit, just making sure all our students get into school on time, and we found that they do, with plenty of time to spare. It certainly looks like a really large line, which it is, but if you just follow the process and know that your students are getting out of your car in time to get into class, and there's no problems.
So as we get ready to turn into the southmost entrance on this campus, really what's called the Sugar Creek main entrance, this is where your car line starts. And I know some of the issues that have happened has been traffic backing up out onto 600 West.
Correct.
So what is the solution as we sit here with the junior high to our left, to the north? This is Sugar Creek as you look out the front of the car here. What's the solution to keep that traffic off of 600 here?
Well, we found last year, as traffic was backing up, we knew that was not a good thing for safety and keeping the process running quickly and smoothly. So Officer Lindsay, our head SRO, who's stationed at NPJH, came up with resolving that issue by looping the cars for NPJH around the bus loop here by Sugar Creek, and that really relieved that congestion, that backup on 600. And if we can have parents follow that, that's really going to relieve that and help cars move quickly and smoothly and safely through the NPJH car line, get kids dropped off on time, and be a good morning.
So the long and short of it is, if you pull in here at Sugar Creek and you see a long line of cars coming through here, don't just jump in line and make this line go back out to 600. Right. Please follow the loop around,
right,
and then come back in and form the line back towards that loop and back towards the Sugar Creek building.
Right, and we do our best. And Officer Lindsay does his best on trying to be available to kind of guide and direct that. We have things that come up in the mornings where he's needed in different places, but if he is available or if another SRO is available, we try to have them here to kind of get that started at least, that line following back here along Sugar Creek.
So there is a sign here, which you can see as you look out the front of the car. It says car right line this way. I'm turning in this first road once you turn into the main Sugar Creek, and this is where your line will go, right through this little intersection here, that middle street, and down in towards the junior high. So one thing I know another issue that we've had that I want to talk about in the morning. Obviously, you guys aren't the only building on this campus. So we've got Sugar Creek staff coming in. We've got Sugar Creek before school activities happening. And as you come up to this stop sign here between the two buildings, it's important to note that this street is actually an active road. So we would encourage our parents to not block that road. Don't just line up here and close this road off. There are parents and people that are wanting to use that as a through street, as an exit. It's a one-way out. You can't come in this way, but please make sure that you don't park through that and close this road.
Right, and when, if the line is still going at 7:35 when our buses are when our students are released to go into the building, those buses, once they're empty, they will come out this way. So keep an eye out for that when buses want to cross through.
All right, gentlemen, so now as we get ready to move through this intersection and into the actual drop-off area, we'll give you a view out of the front of the car as we move here towards the west side of the building. You can see the flagpole there. I'm going to pull up here to this first sign that says, please pull forward.
Yes.
So I'm going to put the map up here and kind of talk about to let you guys talk about the procedure while everybody has an idea kind of aerially of what the drop-off procedure looks like. But when we get to here, talk about what happens.
Okay, so we put these signs in last year, say please pull forward. There's 3 signs here in a row that read please pull forward. And where we got in trouble last year was parents stopping early. The main drop-off point where students will go in is door number 7 here at the flagpole. And it's a natural tendency to want to stop right here and let your student out. But what we ask is parents to pull all the way forward to the sign here at the end that says stop here. And if we get the parent with the child in the car to stop here at the stop sign, that allows for, I'm going to guess, 7, 8 cars behind to let out as well. So if we can do that, that's going to really speed up the process. We had lines painted here last year, drive lanes, and arrows to show where, once you drop off, to please follow that pattern, which I'm sure we'll talk about here in a minute.
The other thing that's helpful is when they come out, you're usually in line for a few minutes, and to have your child ready to go, kind of backpack and lap. Maybe they have a band instrument. Sometimes they'll stop, and that's when they're given last-minute instructions for afternoon pickup or what's going on later in the evening, and have all that done so that when you stop, it's time to get out. It helps everybody, and it's just kind of like the polite thing to do for everybody.
And one other thing, Wes, I'd like to mention is for safety reasons, may seem obvious, but please have your student exit on the sidewalk side of the car. We will have cars who have already emptied, and we'll be driving on the left side to come up here to make the turn to exit. So please have your students exit on the sidewalk side, building side of the car, and proceed that way.
So just a couple of reminders here for everybody. So the way this really ought to work is you have a line of however many, 7, 8, 9 cars that pull in here. The first car stops at the stop sign. Everybody stops behind them. Everybody gets out and goes to the door. And then that whole line of cars should then make this turn, this U-turn here, and then leave. Then you have another 8 or 9 cars that do that. And the issue that we've had previously is folks that want to let little Timmy, Jimmy, or Janie out at the flagpole because they've got the book bag, the lunchbox, the tuba, the diorama for science class. They've got their hands full, and that's what causes that whole thing to back up, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, there are some times where they're actually back in when they first come into our lot, they start dropping them off. So you've got them dropping them off 30 yards before they're actually supposed to. So it needs to be in that drop-off area, and it can go pretty smooth. Like I said last year, even though, like I said, it as the year progressed, slowed down a little bit, didn't quite follow the process, but students were still getting into school on time. That's the important thing.
So now let's talk about the exit, and generally talk about the rule and how we should exit and leaving early and all that stuff. And I'll go ahead and make that U-turn as we do this.
Okay. Yeah. So once your students exit the car, we have arrows here at the end of the lot that we ask everyone to follow, and you just proceed down this path you see us taking here, and you'll come up to the cross drive and turn right and exit the lot. Last year, as the year progressed, we saw a lot of parents dropping off at the curb and short turning out of the lot, which is risky. Even though you've been driving for years and have never had an accident, it's in a parking lot that's so busy that becomes really risky, and we're fearful of an accident. So
and again, this has to be the way you exit. Please don't go all the way back down to that Sugar Creek exit. Don't try to go around the building, because that's a one way to try to sneak up the back way to get, if you're going to NPI as well, to drop a student off there. Please exit this way, and then you can go either way here on 600. If you're going to NPI, then you would come the way that you would go back north and then go back in this northernmost exit for entrance and make your way back to NPI either this way, or in the morning, if you choose to drop off on 200, you can go in that way to go to NPI. So as we pull back in the junior high lot here, gentlemen, anything else that parents should know, be aware of about the procedure and our rules, guidelines, procedures, all that stuff?
Let's say the first day or two, we've got an enormous amount of cars the first couple of days. A lot of our athletes aren't staying after school yet for athletic practices or different clubs. But after about the third or fourth day, we have 1/3 of the student body is not going to be leaving the building at the end of the day. Then we started having different groups meeting in the morning, and they come to school 20 minutes early. So the line does lessen after 2 or 3 days of school. The other is just to be patient. It's a long line, but if you follow the process, it really will work smooth.
So I'll put the map up one more time here. You can find this on the junior high website if you're interested, and you can kind of look that up and research and study if need be on your own time. So gentlemen, thank you very much.
thank you.
Appreciate you
You're
being here.
welcome. Yep, thank you.
As always, you have any questions about Carline or anything else, encourage you to call the junior high,
Yep.
or
Absolutely.
email one of these two gentlemen, and they'll be happy to help. All right, so
It's gonna
thank
be
you
a great
guys.
school year. It's going to be a really good school year.
Looking forward to a
Yep.
great year. Thanks for
Thank you.
watching.
Thank you.